Hi guys, I'm back with a book that I finished reading recently and loved. It's called A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. Now, this book starts in 1922 in Moscow and it tells the story of an aristocrat, Count Alexander Rostov, who's been put under house arrest by a Bolshevik tribunal. And the reason for this is he wrote a revolutionary poem in his youth. Now, he lives in a fancy hotel called Metropole, which still stands in Moscow, and he's put under house arrest in the same hotel. So he moves from his large suite to the servants' quarters and proceeds to spend the next 30 years of his life there. There are three things about this book that stood out for me. First is, despite the fact that the entire story plays out in one location, one never gets the feeling of it being claustrophobic. In fact, I found it very expansive. The hotel came to life for me. I traveled with the cast of characters in the grand ballroom, the restaurants, the bars, the beauty salon. It was wonderful. The second is the characters, starting with Rostov. Now, Rostov is a very endearing man. He's a gentleman. He's well read, he's educated, he's warm, he's witty, he's funny, a great conversationalist. But more than everything, he has a philosophical and a humorous approach to life, and he makes the best of every situation that he is in. Now, the other characters, and they are numerous, from the guests that he meets, he finds his lady love in the hotel, he experiences fatherhood, he makes friends with the co workers and with various other people, his old friends who come to visit him. They are wonderful, and it really gives the feeling of a large family. The third is, I felt the author did a very, very good job of telling us about the socio-economic and the political climate in Russia at the time. Now, this is the Stalinist era, and all kinds of things were happening. There were famines, there were upheavals, and the author is able to bring this in without making it overbearing. So, mainly through conversation that the Count has with various people in the hotel, we get to know what's happening in the outside world. And the author also uses footnotes in the books very well to tell us about the more serious issues. But the most important thing this book made me think about is how I view captivity. Count Rostov lived 30 years in one place and lived a very rich life. And he meets a little girl in the hotel who gives him a key, a magic key, which can open every room. And with that key, he actually explores different parts of the hotel, places he wouldn't have known existed. And I took that as a metaphor that we all have the key to be more curious and to be more aware and be more present and live a very full life wherever we are. And I think Rostov lived a much fuller life than a lot of us do, having traveled the whole world. Another interesting fact that I saw in an interview that Amma Towles had given is he was asked what was the inspiration for the book. And he said, as a professional, he would travel a lot. And on one of his visits to Geneva, he realized that he was staying in the same hotel for the 10th time and he recognized a lot of the staff. And that gave him the idea of thinking of what would it be like if you had to live in a hotel for a long time. And he also got the idea that his character would have had to do it by force. And the reason he chose Russia was because Russia has a long history of house arrest. So I think that was extremely interesting. I really enjoyed the book. I feel very happy and very satiated after reading it, and I hope that you will pick up a copy. Thank you. Until next time.